So we haven't done I've done most of these. I haven't done a production diary update in a long time.
Yeah,
I'm here with Kemerton. Hadn't done one in a very, very long time.
Very long time. I don't remember the last one I did, but I would say it was at least a year and some change ago.
The reason for that is that Kemerton's been living in other places than where I live, and I do these pretty impromptuly.
Right. We don't live in the same city right now.
Right now, we're in a place that neither of us live. We're in a ranch in Texas.
Correct.
Which is why it looks so strange.
Looks so ranchy.
Oddly formal. Oh, I got a bad bug bite.
Well,
It's Kemerton wrapped today.
We think I wrapped.
It's a very good chance Kemerton wrapped today.
Initially, I wrapped back in November, December.
So yeah, you wrapped in October.
You're right, October.
And we started filming last July 4th weekend. It's June 1st today. We're almost a year from everything. And we added some scenes. And that's why we're back here. And Kemerton had a break. We had to schedule when everyone was available. And happened to have access to a cool place in Texas. And we needed more Texas stuff. And so we came to Texas and we got some really cool stuff.
Yeah, it worked out. We really, though, the fact that if we finish filming and, for filming that's a lengthy shoot. But we stopped filming for months at a time.
Yeah, we've been filming for almost a year, but we haven't been filming for a year.
No, it's been little bursts.
We've probably filmed as much as a normal movie, maybe. If that.
Yeah.
We've probably had, I bet we've had we've had a lot of half days and stuff, but we've probably done 25 half days or
But we thought we were done last fall, and then after Evan looked at the footage and I got to see a little bit of it as well, we thought there's some things we could add or improve on and iron out the story. Just so happened to have me moving to Chicago, so we had to figure out when can we do this, and we settled on this weekend, so it worked out. And said time, like you mentioned earlier, we had access to a ranch in West Texas. Neat.
So yeah, if you know the original kind of stories, the whole middle section of the movie is supposed to take place on the road in Texas, and our trip was cut short, so we were never able to fulfill that. A big portion of the movie ended up rewriting, and so by the time we got through everything else and cut the movie, watched the movie, realized that we could use some more, and that translated into a couple different things back in Shreveport and here in Texas. So that's what we've been doing this week, is getting all that stuff at Kemerton.
Unfortunately, I didn't get rid of my wardrobe, even though it was technically wrapped. I didn't drastically alter my appearance. Except for the shoes. You had to rebuy his shoes. The shoes, yeah, that's true. But otherwise, pretty good.
So what's it feel like to be filming again?
It felt at first initially it was kind of
weird though.
Weird. It was weird the other night.
We did a campfire scene.
I felt like it felt like a rehearsal.
It was
like a casual rehearsal.
It takes a day to get back into the groove of it.
Yeah, that felt like a practice run almost.
We hadn't been in movie mode since October, so it was kind of weird to be like, oh, we're making a movie right now.
Yeah.
Plus, we haven't seen each other in 6 months either.
Right.
Probably, so.
But after that, by the time we got here,
today
I felt like we were here to
felt like we were in the groove again.
Yeah, in a groove, and a lot of the stuff that we shot just this past few days is not super dialogue or scene heavy, so that made it easier on me because I didn't have to jump right back into the character thing, so a lot of it was just kind of, I'm not the brightest bulb there is, but I can
there's a lot of dialogue in the movie, so it's good that we got some quieter.
And Evan acted.
I had a cameo, a 2-page cameo today.
It went very well.
Involved me driving a pickup truck.
Yeah.
That was fun.
But we had a kind of a wacky thing because there were 3 of us. Someone was on camera, someone had a roll camera, someone had to drive a car.
Yeah, and Erica, who plays Jim, who's my wife, she her last scene was the campfire scene a couple nights ago, but she's here with us, and so she was doing sound and occasionally camera actually today because I was on camera. So
Group effort.
somehow it feels more natural when it's smaller though. Like even
I
though
think
we're
so,
like
too.
stretched really thin, like today was like a really good day. Like it felt like
I
we were
think the
in a
pace
groove.
is genuinely quicker too.
Yeah.
When you have a small unit.
Well, in this movie especially, like it's not a movie with sets. Like you don't show up to set and do your thing. And
Right.
There's not a crew. It's like it's about being out in the elements and getting it. And so
Speaking of elements,
Yes.
a big storm came tonight, right before we were gonna film what was my last scene, and so right before the storm, we picked off a couple shots.
we're waiting for magic hour. We had great weather all day.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for some magic hour.
and then
light.
looked like the
Mother of all
apocalypse came in, and it was super dark and weird looking. It looked like like Hades kind of, and then it kind of passed through, sort of.
We got like a hole and we had to go out and run and get it. But then like there was like lightning all along like the landscape. It was really creepy.
Yeah.
Ominous.
But
But that's kind of been the story of this movie. Is like
I
fighting
just
the
kind of hope it
elements,
works out, and
jumping in
It
and
did.
getting whatever we can get despite everything working
yeah,
against us.
it
at
didn't
times.
it didn't pour down rain when we needed to film. It just was kind of an alarming amount of lightning, but it wasn't anything that we couldn't.
I'd like watch out for rattlesnakes and stuff. But
It worked out fine.
we were fine. Everybody's
It was
fine.
fine.
It's always fine.
So yeah, I mean, it's just it was an easy shoot day otherwise. But then, of course, if one thing doesn't go wrong, something else will. So the weather showed up, but we persevered.
So like big picture, like how do you feel about like what we've done?
It's hard to say because it's been so.
Because you've
It's been
seen the
such a
rough cut of the
process.
movie. Not a lot of people have.
Yeah.
You're one of the few that have seen it.
Right.
You kind of agreed that we needed the stuff we needed.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's kind of delayed our process a little bit. It's like necessary.
Yeah, I think I think the cut I saw you could still put out there and be fine, but
Yeah.
it could be better. So it's worth the pain in the ass that it's been to come back and revisit it and tack on it. It's like we added a whole new twist or subplot, like just tack on some extra scenes. I think it'll make it a lot better. It'll flow better. But yeah, it's kind of weird because it's just bits and pieces here and there of all different parts of all different locations, different times. So it's hard to picture the whole thing as
It feels
one.
to me like one thing I've like struggled with is like, feels like. I mean, everything we've done because we needed to, but it's also like it's definitely like getting to me now where it's like, okay, we have to finish this thing because it could just go on forever.
Right.
Like there's like
Yeah,
a
that's
risk
it.
of like at
Yeah.
some point you have to like stop,
Yeah.
cut yourself off.
Right. And
Finding that balance
that's
has been tricky.
On that note, like, are there other things maybe we could improve on that?
Right, 'cause
there
there's always, like,
probably-
something you could, like-
Yeah, but this was like a warranted. I felt.
Well, I guess
it's not even a reshoot. It's
Yeah, what's important to note is that we haven't redone anything.
No.
We've done no reshoots. We commit to what we've got. We just
Mhm.
needed more.
Yeah.
So it was all new scenes. We're writing ourselves out of
And
production
they're not
problems.
and they're not super taxing scenes even, but what's taxing is people flying in different times, different places, getting together, going to a
Right.
remote location, doing it. And
Right.
It's like that's the.
And as fortunate as we are, like have access to like some of the places we've been able to go, it's still like, I mean, we talked about needing these scenes probably back in January or February,
Mhm.
I want to say, when the first rough cut was done.
Yeah.
And it's June. And it kind of took that long before we had like a window to do what we're doing.
Yeah.
It took that long for me to get to a point where I could write what we needed and like then work with Kemerton and figure out, like we're just not. It feels like we've been fighting just the reality of everybody's lives a little bit and just like.
Yeah. It's
As simple as what we did today is, and as good as it felt like just going out and doing it and it was like natural, it's still like
Right.
it took a lot to get there. in a way.
Yeah. We don't. Yeah. We have our lives, and then we have like whatever bonus time is pretty much devoted to this. So.
There's something sort of like, I guess, like kind of bittersweet about it because it's like, you're wrapped now. I still have to do those dang flashbacks. But like after that, it'll be
And
like
edit it.
yeah. But like after that, it's like I don't know like when we're gonna do this again. Like
We'll do it again.
I mean we will, but it's like
It'll
knowing
take a
like
while.
like how big of a deal. Like I especially don't know like if the next thing will be a feature again. Like just 'cause it's so daunting.
but you know, I feel like we felt like that after
Paranormal
wasn't getting our space, and you kind of don't want to think about the next thing for a while because you're like, God, that was difficult.
Right, but then as
And
soon
the
as
longer
it's
away
done,
you are,
all you can do is think about what you
yeah,
want to do.
you don't
then.
remember all
Yeah.
the difficult shit. You
Right.
remember mainly like I think we all the past is easy to kind of romanticize,
Right.
which is good because it'll get us back out there. But yeah, it's hard to think of when or how or.
Well, I will say like each one's gotten harder by like in considering.
I agree.
As much as we do like ambitious things with each one, like in getting outer space, like I look back and think like, how the hell did we get like that spaceship made? And there were hurdles involved in that movie, but it was also in a lot of ways it just felt simple. Like it was just there and we knocked it out in like 3 weeks, and it was just it was what it was.
Well, it's like 22. You have a lot less responsibilities than you do at 30. Like,
yeah.
And also even just general fatigue. Like I don't know if I can push myself.
Yeah, I
that
don't have
much.
the stamina.
I don't. And it's not as easy to just like take off one hat and put on another and jump right back into it.
Yeah, I think like that's the thing is like it's more of a fight. Like every passing year, it's more of a fight to want to like say we're gonna we're gonna be filmmakers. We're gonna make movies. We're gonna write stuff or shoot stuff or act and stuff. Like it's every year, it's more of a struggle to commit.
I think we knew a lot more people too when we made Getting Outer Space years ago who are still considering it, who might not do it anymore. I feel like there are less and less people.
Well, Paranormal
today
felt
was
like
Evan, myself, and his wife. Basically. I mean, it's hard to find.
Well, a lot of what Erica have talked about. A lot of the reason she's in the movie is for practical reasons of like, like we were going on a road trip and we had 3 characters and me. It's like that's about all we could fit in the car. Like it wasn't practical to have, bring several vehicles of people and crew and actors. It's like all right, well, it'd make more sense.
Yeah. And
just you as a producer just be an actor instead and
sure
fit more people in the car, not kill more birds with stone, whatever.
Right.
I guess.
But yeah, it's hard. It's work. I mean, it's fun. Obviously, if you like doing other, we wouldn't do it. But it's something I consider work. So it's not like I make time to go do a fun thing. It's like I've got to make time.
One thing I thought of the other day that like kind of like summed it up for me was like filmmaking is a lot of fun, and it's really fun to look back on like the weird things you make yourself do, and it's really rewarding and validating and all those things. But I realize the work isn't worth it just for the fun.
No.
Like there's no way we would do this just for the fun of the act of doing it, because the effort that goes into doing it isn't worth the payoff of the fun. It's not that fun.
No.
It's fun, but it's not more fun than the work required to do it.
Yeah.
That's something that crossed my mind recently.
For sure.
And that's why a lot of people don't do it, I think.
Yeah, it's hard.
I mean, more and more people do it now than ever, but still, like...
It's hard.
Without a crew or, like, resources to make it easy. You have to pick away at everything.
Yeah. But I think if you go in the mindset there is no option not to finish, this took us short of a year. If it takes you 4 years, just finish. Just don't even explore the option that, like, well, make it short or, like, no, just finish.
Commit to whatever you
somehow. Find a way to do it.
When I kind of want to talk about how, like, was the last production diary we did together the one in the hotel room? No, we did one since then.
Yeah.
But when we first were talking about wanting to make a movie in that hotel, like the first, was it maybe the first one we did? Mm-hmm. First or second production diary? I think it was the first one. I remember us talking about how like we want to go out and make like a funny movie, but we wanted it to have like that something else to it. And I know that when we talked about how we knew that it wasn't always necessarily something you could plan for, but it was like something that like comes out of the process of making it.
Yeah.
And I know we tried to design this to where it would throw us in the elements and like make something, imbue the soul of what we were doing with like the sweat of us doing it, or like something that comes across that's hard to like explain. And now that we have like 99% of it shot and I've like seen it, like I feel like that's there.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, like we talked about like Lost in Translation, like movies that like leave you like with this feeling of nostalgia and stuff. And I can't say whether this will have that or not, but I think there is, like even just like what we're shooting today, like hopefully it won't just be me looking at it and me thinking like, wow, that was like they're in that or they're out there and they were like doing it. Like I think that like the fact that we did that through everything adds up to something, and I think in a way like maybe we accomplished. It's hard to say right now, but I feel like we
I think
we gave it our best shot of like trying to do what we were trying to do.
Yeah, you're living it without realizing it even.
Like
Plus, everyone who was there wanted to be there. I mean, we can't pay. There's not. I mean, it's just.
It definitely feels like we lived this movie more than any other movie we made.
We basically were filming as we were having to be at places we needed to stay. It was very much
fighting life really to make it too. Just lots of dramatic things happened over the course of making it.
And that's not even a year. And so I associate all these things that happened during the making of the movie, and like, God, all these huge shifts in life happen. That's just not even a year.
All these people that had babies, like Landon and like your sister and stuff, like they're all like hitting their first birthdays because like they all had babies right before like we started. I was like, oh shit, like it's crazy.
It's nuts. And people go, oh, that's fun. But it's like, and they tell them, like, I'm going to shoot something. Oh, that's fun. It is. It is. I like doing it, obviously, but it's also, it's not like a very, like, simple thing for us to decide to go and shoot some extra fun scenes. No. Like, it's,
Like in high school it was, like, because that's just what we did. We were around and, like, coordinating was easy.
We had nothing to do, But, I mean, there's you can't really... you just have to make like a pact with yourself. Even
that's one of the things like I know. Like
you will go until it's over.
Yeah, like looking back on stuff too, it's like sometimes it feels like really spontaneous when we decide to make something, and it's usually just like a weird urge, like like we haven't made something in a while, we need to make something, and then you just kind of like you tell yourself you're gonna do it, and then it's like, well shit, now we gotta write something, and then you kind of start writing something, and in the case of this movie, we just kind of reached a point where we needed to start making it, whether it was ready or not, and we just started making it, and then like the last year's been like trying to finish it, and we never like had a real start point where everything was ready to go, and like looking back on it, that's been the case with like everything we've done, and it's like.
But if we hadn't done that,
exactly,
we would never.
That's what I think of as.
If we had waited any longer, something would happen.
I think of the alternative as like, well, like even if that like. You can look at like all these circumstances and be like, well, maybe it wasn't time to make the movie, or you shouldn't have started yet. But then it's like, well, the alternative was not doing it, and we wouldn't have anything to show for anything we've ever done.
There's always a reason not to do it.
Right.
If you start,
something's
gonna happen, and then you're like, I'm in it. I have to keep going.
Yeah.
There's never reason not. I mean, there's never. Yeah. There's always reason not to. So you just have to kind of jump in, and you're like, oh well, shit, I'm halfway there now. I have to finish
we just gotta finish it, and then it'll be what it is, and
then
we'll move on to the next thing.
There's never a good time, you have to make that time.
That's what's gonna be weird. Is like when this is done, we'll have done like 3 features, and that's like crazy. Like I remember feeling like just doing the first one was just like, wow, we made a full-length movie. That's crazy.
I mean, it could be the worst dog shit thing ever.
I feel like
in the world, but to just complete a feature is really difficult.
I feel like eventually we'll just be old and be like, oh, yeah, we made like 10 movies, like, and then we only did it because we made ourselves do it, and like that's how you have a career. It has nothing to do with like, oh, 10 people told me I could make a movie.
You realize, you have to think, I do all this, I sacrifice all this, my time, my money, my energy, like all these different things, and the only conclusion you can reach is I must really like this.
Right.
I must really like filmmaking or whatever it is. You have to like it.
Yeah.
Especially in our situation, because we're not expecting a payoff.
Yeah, there's a very good chance we won't make any money or like anything.
So why do it? I mean, because you like to do it. That's the only thing.
It's a weird thing to like to do because it takes a lot of. Like it'd be a lot easier to focus on the other things in life and just not worry about this.
It's
it's like you have to fight for it. So.
Yeah. And I think I think, once I've reached this point, I mean, I don't see myself going back. I'm kind of, if nothing else, doubling down.
Yeah.
Because
I think there is a point,
That'd be the
like
toughest
somewhere in like your late 20s where it's like, okay, is this
right.
real?
And
Or,
then, well,
or do you really need to
yeah.
go do that job and focus on
Mhm.
the thing that makes sense? I feel like we just maybe passed that thing
Yeah,
where
I
like
put it all on black.
we're
and I'm
still
just
doing
like,
it. It's like, okay, we're
Yeah,
in this.
yeah.
We're not going anywhere.
This is it.
So, well, I feel good about today.
I do too.
I feel good about the movie.
I do too.
I need to finish it now.
Yeah, that needs to happen. But fortunately, it's not like starting from scratch. You've cut a good
Yeah,
bit
it's
of it.
mostly cut. So it's easy just to add these few little scenes in now.
Yeah.
And that it's been hard to focus on the rest of it because of when you know you're gonna get more stuff.
Yeah.
It's hard to be. Once I have it all there, then it's like, all right, now I can really double down on it.
Right.
'Cause it's all there, just waiting for you. So. All right. Well.
Yeah.
I felt like it's
Definitely a
important to have
rewarding
you-
feeling.
Yeah.
I think we, definitely worked for it. Even if everyone hates it, we worked hard for it.
Yeah. Like it won't bother me at all if anybody hates this movie.
I
Like,
don't care.
I feel more proud of this than anything I think I've ever done.
Yeah, I don't.
Like whether it's good or it's even in
Transcends, yeah.
people's taste. Like.
And just making something like, no matter how long you've been doing anything and how much of a master you think you have of it, you learn so much.
Yeah.
Making a feature, just the more time you spend doing, it, you just learn every day. You learn new things.
That's like
It's the best.
probably like
practice.
half of why I always do the next movie or like the next project, just because like by the time we finish this movie, we'll have like learned so much, and we'll look back and be like, God, we could have done all these things better. And then it's like, you want to see where you're at then, and the only way to see where you're at then is to start another project. But of course, by the time you're at the end of that one,
Yeah.
you'll be like, oh, well, we could have done. And now that we've done it a couple of, like, it's hard to like really measure that after like the first or second project. But now that we're like on the third one, I feel like that I see the pattern now. It's
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
you can hold up these 3 movies we've done next to each other and see a giant leap from each one.
Right.
It's like, so whether or not like they're good by anybody else's standards, at least there's like progress being made.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
you make one movie and it can feel like, well, I don't know if that meant anything, but if you keep doing it, then you keep having this like you can only get better. Like,
Yeah.
So that's the nice thing about it.
Definitely.
Although I don't know, people do make bad movies after they make good movies. So I mean, historically, that's kind of what
Yeah,
happens to a lot
sure.
of directors. But
Then you really want to make the next one to prove you weren't a fluke,
right.
and then.
Well, I
you
feel like
think
bad
it's
movies
worse than-
happen when people just phone it in or they get comfortable. So
Yeah.
as long as you like care about what you're doing, fighting for it, then like even if it's not like beloved by everybody, it's like there's usually at least something interesting about it,
Right.
something worth having done it for. So
Mm-hmm.
I think this will be one of those movies.
I think so too.
I know not everybody's gonna like it because we have a very strange sense of humor.
Not
But I
everyone
think
likes
people
it.
that like it will really like it.
I think so too.
It'll have its fans.
I think so too.
Like I think people like me, you can only make it for yourself, really.
Yeah.
And like if I came across this movie having known nothing about it, it'd be a movie that I would really enjoy.
Yeah. It's different. I mean, in a good way. It's not. It's
It has a lot of the things I like in movies. Put it that way. All right. Well, that's probably pretty good.
Yeah.
It's good for us to have a talk.
Yeah.
We can only have serious conversations in front of cameras. Though.
Right. Once this is off, it's over. Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for watching.
Yes.
And the journey continues.
Yes.
And it's nearing completion.
Yes.
Stay tuned.